I'm looking at another Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with pasta or pasta, depending on how you like to pronounce that. I'm thinking do PA and then, maybe an S at the beginning or something. Pairs, sure. Okay, well, one of the P's is a lie. So we know there's no A. We know there is an S. If we do this, we could still have... No, we can't. Oh, the P, it would have to be PS with E. That's not going to work. Well, or the S is the lie there. Posed. Okay, well, one of the E's is a lie here, so the gray P is definitely true, which means that's a lie. These are true. That's true. So we know there's an S. It could be at the end. It can't be at the end. It could be at the end if there's no R. Then we'd have to have a D. We could do something like this. Hides. What the puzzle does to us with the truth. It hides the truth. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Well, one of the D's is a lie. So the yellow E is definitely true, which means that's a lie, and these are true, so this is true. Okay, so we could have SE. The H and the I are interesting. So if there's a D, it would have to be this. And if there's a D, that means there's no O, so the D would have to be the lie. So it would have to be a D at the end. It would have to be ESD, which isn't going to work, so there can't be a D. This has to be true. This has to be the lie. So the H or the I is the lie. I'm thinking SE, house, but there's no O. So we only have U for a vowel if there's no I. So maybe the I is true. And we could have SE. But what is that gonna be? Rinse, but there's no R. Huh. I don't know. So maybe not. Maybe the S isn't there. Maybe it's SI. SI, we could still have the E at the end. Since. Oh, okay. Well, obviously the H or the S is the lie. So the I is true, which means the H is the lie. And that means what? We don't necessarily know that the S is true, but I feel like it probably is. Singe. Singe, no. Oh, the E. Oh, if the E is at the end, then that's... Oh. We could do siege with another E. Well, the I is the lie. Everything else is true. So he sees. That's not in the word list. That's not how it's spelled. Civ. Oh. Siege, I think, is EI. Yeah, all right, Civ, very nice. All right, tricky one. I don't feel like it took too much time, even though it took 6 guesses. So trying the right possibilities, I guess. But anyways, let me know how your solve went today. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.